Welcome to the talk show Life Stories with Marc Hoberman. The goal of this show is to provide a learning experience to people of all ages, with guests from various fields in academics, a wide range of industries, and insight into the many forms of art, athletics, and entertainment. We hope you enjoy the show. Actor Simon Twu is our special guest today on Life Stories with Marc Hoberman. Simon talks about his experience in commercials, movies, and more. Simon will also talk about giving back to others through his company, Simon Technique Studio.
Hi guys, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me, Mark.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my pleasure. Simon, before we talk about your professional career, can you tell us a little bit about your background and upbringing as a child?
Oh my gosh, my upbringing, that's a long story. 29 different schools growing up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was a teacher and I only taught in 4.
Well, I guess I have more experience. No, I'm just kidding. So no, it was a crazy life. Like my family's always like donating stuff all over the world and try to like help people. So I just kind of kept traveling, grew up with a lot of different family members. But it was really, really cool because throughout this process, I got a chance to learn from different cultures, and it's just so fascinating that because I was forced to be in those positions where I have to compare to different cultures. And they had like a lot of similarities. For example, hot pot, right? Or like gumbo, or like the Russian like potato soups, or like a lot of cultures kind of merge together in certain ways because there's some wisdom behind these, legendary things that they pass on, right? Or the wisdom that they pass on. And at the same time, there's also a lot of things you have to be localized in order to pass down the information for education, which we talked about.
Absolutely. So, and we talk more about, we know about your upbringing now, and I want to talk now about your career, which you've done it all. So, there are a lot of people out there in the entertainment world who do commercials and voiceovers, and there's so many things to do in the business as they get up there into bigger parts. What's your experience in that part of the industry with voiceovers and commercials?
So I love voiceovers and commercials. So I had a small title called like the Asian Commercial Prince back in like 2011 to 13 or something. Because I don't know, I was really, really fortunate to have done a lot. I don't think I can name the brands here, but I think I've done like over 80 commercials. And internationally and national, and or like the Asian market, blah blah blah, all of them together, and it was so much fun because I feel like once you get on a roll, like do more of them, it becomes much easier because it's almost like a practice of working with different directors or different teams, and every director directs you differently and have different like keys. For example, some directors will be very, very nice and be like, okay, if you're holding like a beer or holding whatever, like. You have to be like that, the same position. 3, 2, 1, action. 3, 2, 1, action. So we have like the muscle memory already, because we've done it so many times. So we know, okay, so they want almost identical, inserts of your hand, da-da-da. And sometimes you can ask for like one of those grains or something. So you can leave your hand there and just, at least for me, like we have little strategies. So I know my muscle memory here. So with a 3, 2, 1, action, so it's the same movements. So they get the best shot in the shortest amount of time, and they'll like to use you next time. So that's pretty cool.
How long does a 30-second or 1-minute commercial take to shoot? People think that you go in, you walk in, it's a 1-minute commercial, you take 3 minutes in case there's a couple of takes, you go home and that's it. It's much more involved than that, isn't it?
Oh yeah. From my experience, it usually takes a lot of planning, sometimes even rehearsals in a foreign language. And then, from my experience, it took a fitting, of course, blah blah blah. So it takes about 1 day of fitting usually, and then about 1 to 7 days of shooting, depending how big it is.
Is fitting is the clothing, you mean?
Yeah. So we try on the clothes and see like if it fits, if it looks good or not.
Oh, so they don't say come in jeans and a nice black shirt. They whenever you go to a commercial, it's always clothes that they tell you this is what you're wearing.
It's the industry. I think everyone's trying to save money, so like they always
try to clothes.
Yeah, but you never end up wearing your own clothes. At least I haven't in a while. Like it's always like it's always their clothes for some reason.
Right. Well, without telling us maybe the brand name, can you tell us the different, 80 commercials is a ton, the different types of products, those commercials that you've been in?
Yeah. Like banking, cell phones, telecommunication, fast food, beers, yogurts, yeah. Oh gosh, I can't. I actually have the names faster. I can probably
I know, no, the brand is in, yeah, well, that's what branding and marketing is all about. They want to know the brand more than they want to know the product. I get it. But without mentioning the brand, I know you were in a commercial with John Legend and his wife, Chrissy Teigen. So what was that like? You don't have to mention the brand.
Yeah. No, they're awesome. It was really cool to see them on set and work with them on set. It was like it's just great people, and I love music. So come on, John Legend with the music producer for La La Land, I believe so, and also he's just like his name, a legend. Like and it was awesome. It was really cool to work with, and everyone on set was so nice.
Yeah,
so nice.
I'm sure it was a great experience. When we talk now about either bigger parts or TV and movies, do you think there are enough meaningful roles in television and or movies for the Asian community?
I wish there's more. I really wish there's more.
Yeah, this guy's got to work. Simon's got to work. Call him.
Thanks. So no, I really wish there's more, and I think it's going towards that direction a little more, like the representation and also the authenticity. And at least in my experience and talking to some executives and stuff at different studios and producers, I feel like it's half. Like some people are like, we're just gonna keep doing the safe way. But there's some people who are like also trying to find that authenticity. For example, I'm not like those pro like, oh my gosh, if you're like, if you're looking for a Vietnamese, well, you have to look for Vietnamese, like separating all the Asians so much that you can't even play. Because that's almost like saying like the Caucasian or white Americans can only play their specific, like, right. I'm part Dutch and I'm part, like, come on. Right. Like, that's like so, but at the same time, it's like, at least authenticity. For example, the Northern Chinese at least really be Chinese, not Japanese. So like, like the characters, maybe it's fine once in a while, but like, it's at least you have to speak it correctly, not like a completely different language, which used to happen a lot, by the way. And so, for example, Northern Chinese is like, 吃了吗，哥们儿？哎呀，行啊，whatever. And Southern Chinese is like, 早上好，大家好，是的，行，可以，好的。So it's completely different, right? But no one ever gets that. And so like sometimes when it's not that authentic, there's a discrepancy, It's almost like if we're making a movie in Asia about the United States and it doesn't fall in this right categories. Right. It's like you get really confused and really bored right away.
But English-speaking people would never see the discrepancy. You would sit and you would know the discrepancy right away.
Oh yeah,
saw heard that.
Oh yeah, big time. So, and I'm just saying, like, while we're on air, like, I'm just hopefully get a chance to share that experience because I lived there for so half basically. I grew up in America, Santa Monica, but I also lived in Asia and worked in Asia for quite some time, especially with co-productions or like different international directors and producers. So it was really interesting to see both sides of the picture. And I'm just like, I'm an advocate, and I just hope that one day we can do more projects like that, that can actually, and it's doable. Like, imagine like dance, right? We go to like dance or ballets or whatever, or modern dance shows, and it's an international language. But how come now that we added language and other even like more supporting artistic work, it makes it less communicatable, which is, you're adding more budget, you're doing more artwork, you're making even more grandiose and filming it, spending so much money on it, and it's detached even more. So that's the discrepancy that I'm really working so hard. I even trying to write projects right now and just trying to push that forward, and especially as a performer and actor and singer, just really try to be more authentic.
Well, you mentioned projects, so I'm sure my viewers are going to be very excited to hear about, I guess, your latest project, which is the movie Lead the Way, in which you play the main character. So tell us about that. That's got to be really exciting. I mean, that's your baby now.
Oh yeah, that's so. Oh, it was such a pleasure to work with the team. It was a lot of fun. Our director is Richard L. Anderson. He's a two-time Oscar winner, and an Emmy winner. So he was known for his doing the sounds. So I was so thankful to work with him, because even though like he's not an Oscar winner for directing, but who cares? Like working with any like professional people, they just have that mindset and attitude, and it was so endearing to work with him and just to see like how he thinks and how meticulous he wants things to be and why, and his artistic vision. So talking to him on such, I learned a lot. And for those of you who don't know, like he did like what is it? Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Star Trek, Night Before Christmas, like Amor, Lion King, like a bunch. Yeah, like a bunch. Like if you go on his IMDb page, but more importantly, I learned a lot. And our producer Julia, she was awesome, and our writer Eugene. It's just it was a script about autistic person who eventually got semi-blind, written for the president of the United States.
And that's your role.
Yeah, Patrick Lee.
Yeah, so people should know Lead the Way is Lee apostrophe D. Lead the Way, based on the character's name Lee. Sure.
Yeah, satire. I love satire, and
so I think you run for president, right? Your character runs for president.
Yeah. Yes.
And haven't you guys? I think recently, didn't you win some kind of film festival award recently?
Yeah, we won the best independent feature film at Chinese American Film Festival recently.
That's huge. Congratulations. That's great to hear. What are examples of some things you learned? I mean, you've been in business for a young guy. You've done a load of commercials, a lot of work, international. What were some of these things that you learned from some of these really top level people?
Oh my God, I learned so much. I want to do a shout out like to my mentor, Elizabeth Sun. She was the most giving person ever. She kind of taught me the most important part of my life, I believe, is to give. And as you're in education, sometimes you don't get paid a lot for education at all. Sometimes it's almost free. Like if you calculate, sometimes you get almost minimum wage. But it's just because to see them grow, it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. It's almost like you almost treat them like your own like kids, so she gave a lot in her life and always taught me where to go, and just very expressive. And that's what this program is about. Like it's not just after taking class, we have a mentorship program where like, they can ask questions, we guide them through different things as well, and the paths as well. So that's one of the things I learned so much, to give back, to don't lose that while you're on a path of what you want to do as well. And then working with Joseph Fiennes, he was amazing. I remember I was working in Asia for a lot of time. Their craft in China was Stanislavski mainly, and it's a lot of pre-prep work, and which there's nothing wrong with Stanislavski. It's just that because the environment that they're in, it's a lot faster. It's like fast paced. It's more like fast food. So a lot of people, and not getting too much into the cultural aspects and the preparation work over there, but it becomes very like, I don't have time to do my work, not like us work, like a teamwork. So sometimes, and so I remember working with him. He was like, Simon, I got this, relax. And I was like, okay. And I remember when he said that, I was like, yes, because I started training and acting in music in America first. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me. And so, because I did a lot of prep work and pre-story, whatever, all the backstory stuff. And I just sat in and just let him feed everything to me, like Meisner work, feeding the acting's reacting, right? And it was so much fun working with him. And he really like reminded me and clicked again. I was like, oh my gosh. So it was an honor working with him. He was just so good. All you have to do is just react off of whatever he's giving you. It's so good. It was really lovely to have like his talk in his room afterwards. And he was very, very nice to say like, it's like, thank you for doing your work here and for the project. And It was very sweet of him.
It's also great that you're open to learning. Some people, don't have that growth mindset, and you certainly do. And you mentioned education, but I know that you are a little involved in education yourself. I want to dissect a little bit about and learn more about Simon Technique Studio.
So Simon Technique Studio. Okay, so in the beginning, I didn't want to name anything like under my name. I was like, why? It just sounds so like ugh. But like I was like, what do we name like educational growth or like some energy? Anyway, something that's like positive, right? And then not like my name, but like but because I remember I was acting a lot back in Asia, and I was in Beijing at the time. There's just so many projects at the time, and I was talking to A-lister there, Zhang Jiayi, and he was really, really cool, like that team. And he's an amazing actor there. I really respect him and also the team there. But they were like, Simon, like you're one of the few bilingual actors and bicultural actors here that works a lot and also really understand it. So I was like, okay. So, and then they're like, why don't you do some education? Because they realized that I can localize like Meisner or like Woodhagen, like different techniques into the localization, and they've been having a lot of Asian actors has been struggling with that. It's because just like you mentioned, you have some experience with books, right? Like any books translated into a different language, you lose like 30%, sometimes even depending on who you find, 70% sometimes, and they're like doing like it's almost imagine you're like. You're fishing. You're like, oh, this is the best technique. Yeah, but how come there's no fish? Oh, I'm the wrong pond. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's what was happening. So, I spent a lot of time about more than 10 years, like with these people. I was working with my other colleagues were the four top teachers from the four conservatories in China. 中西北电上戏传媒大学, and then I was the international coach there. So I would like fuse this thing together. I was like, okay, so how do we make this better? How do we communicate this better? How do we localize it? For example, like the Chinese culture, a lot of Chinese actors like, huh, ha, yeah, rah. It's big, right? And even Japanese culture, it sometimes is very big because animated, like like almost like Naruto, or whatever, like but the real culture within the cities, at least, are like 谢谢，可以
Very quiet.
拜拜。It's very small, right? And it's very like, but how come when it goes on the camera, it's like, it's like it's animated, so exaggerated. So because the Asian culture, you have a lot less physical expression compared to like America. I think I read it somewhere like psychology or like communication. 70% is physical language.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, but that's not really the case there. So if you implement you can't implement everything. You have to be able to understand the culture so much that you can localize it, or else it doesn't make any sense anymore. So that's what I was doing, and that's how we got started. So I'm very fortunate to have like a lot of A-listers and just celebrities and like top actors there to help me with this program to build the curriculum and to fix like what we need to share with these people, and also some mentors from America as well, like top people.
So are you teaching acting? Are you teaching singing? Who are you teaching, and what are you?
Yeah, so we just started this thing March this year. So I mean, we've been doing Educate for a long time, but it's like the online platform. So I do the acting and singing part. And we have like we have artists, we have also like producers and stuff like that. But we have artists. He's an Academy Award winner, a great dear friend of mine, James Paris. He's awesome, and he did like I don't know. Can I say titles of movies here?
Sure.
Oh yeah, it's already out. So like he did like I, Robot, Benjamin Button. He did The Face and the Spider-Man, Lion King, Mulan, blah 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 blah. The list goes on, and he's great. He's just phenomenal. Like even sitting in class, I was like, oh man, Jason, I'm learning a lot. Like I am every time. So I just want to make sure that we're giving the best we can to the next generation. So if I'm still learning a lot, I'm like, okay, hopefully that's going to translate so they can learn a lot as well.
And where should people go to find out more about you? Are there websites or places you can go? Your IMDb page, I'm sure, is one. But where can they go to find out more about you?
So there's two websites right now. This one's called Simon Twu, and that's a TWU. Simon Twu. Just think about like when you think about like Asian guys as not Asian guys, like typical Asian stereotypes. The reaction is just like, okay, when the camera's
TWU.
Simon Twu with a U. Simon Twu actor at SimonTwoActor.com, and the school page is SimonTechniqueStudio.com. Oh, by the way, the reason why it's called Simon Technique Studio is because these guys in Asia spend like $100K on marketing on Baidu in Asia. So it's the first thing you can find, like Simon Technique or Simon Technique Studio is the first thing that pops up on news. So it's like, it's like, why not use something that's already out there? It's already a brand there.
Definitely. Well, Simon Twu, I can't thank you enough for joining us today, sharing your passion and all your experiences you've had in the entertainment business. I really appreciate you being here. Have a great day, Simon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Life Stories with Marc Hoberman. To contact Marc, email him at info@lifestorieswithmarchoberman.com or visit him on social media through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Thank you for watching Life Stories with Marc Hoberman.